Hi, my name is Jeannie, and I grew up in a Buddhist home. Didn't really know much about God before coming to college, but by the time I got to college, I was I was just at a low point. I just had a lot of shame and guilt over different decisions I had made, and I started to kind of just look inward and evaluate my life, and I didn't like what I saw. But at the same time, I had an aunt that passed away really slowly and painfully from breast cancer, and so I had questions about life and death and what's the meaning of all of this. So anyway, long story short, I found myself coming to our church because of like new student welcome night and just really friendly people that I had met, and I got all my questions answered. But I think one thing that really stands out during that time is actually two things. One is just the honesty with which people would share their stories. So people would share their testimonies, and I was like, I remember like listening and looking around the room, like, like, did he just say that? Did she just share that about herself? And I was like, wow, people are so honest before like a congregation as they testify to God's love for them and what Jesus did for them without shame, and that made me wonder, like, yeah, what is it about the gospel that enables you to do that? And so I think that was one huge factor that helped me just speak the truth about who I was and bring it to others and bring it to God and experience the cross like really coming alive in my heart. I think one story really stands out. It's the story of the Samaritan woman. And I think of all the characters in the Bible, I really relate to her the most. And I remember that similar pattern, where she has that honest conversation with God, and he calls her out, and he reveals himself to her, and then she leaves her water jar, she leaves her old life behind. And then she goes back to town and she says, come, meet a man who told me everything I ever did. And I don't know why, but every time I hear those words, actually, I want to cry. And that was just that moment for me. Like, yeah, I want to leave that old life that led me to sin and shame. And I want to tell people, about this amazing gospel and this amazing God. And I think the second thing that stands out from my experience that helped me come to Christ is just the extravagant love of people. And as I saw people pour out their lives, their treasure, their time, to serving God and ministering to people like me, that really helped me to see, God, he's real, and that also led me to want to pour out my life, to keep telling people that there is a God who knows you, wants to have a conversation with you, and wants to reveal himself to you. And so that's what my life has been about since then, and I wouldn't have it any other way.